welcome to the Procrastination Show. We are last-minute hosts, Sierra,
Jasmine,
and Val.
bringing you last-minute stories on last-minute topics. We may procrastinate on this show, but you should not procrastinate on student debt.
and with the rising cost of tuition, room, and board, and the multiple necessities of college, it is becoming increasingly harder for college students to keep up.
And not to mention the college graduates who spend years off paying their college debt.
According to education data, 43.4 million borrowers have federal student loan debt, and 50% of students who had taken on student loan debt did not feel it was worth it. That's just disappointing. Thousands of students are graduating in 2022. That is thousands more students possibly going into debt. Thousands of dollars that colleges accumulate and thousands of dollars that don't seem to be spent wisely on their students. Student debt is not a problem, it is a national crisis. According to College Board, tuition and fees for the 2021 and 2022 academic year increased by 1.6% to an average of $10,740,000 for in-state students at four-year public colleges. Don't get me started on private schools. Data showed tuition fees at four-year private colleges rose by 2.1% to $38,770. That is equivalent to approximately 4,759 burritos or a brand new 2022 Kia sedan. So where does the money go? Students are paying an arm and a leg for luxury and brand new rooms, 5-star restaurants, private bathrooms, and perfectly new buildings. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of colleges who value the safety and care of their students. Many of them place blue light poles, which are emergency lines to contact the campus police, and some schools have quality food to provide for their students.
Dinner with me at Yale. Tonight we had Korean chicken and fried rice. Of course I got you with the behind the scenes. It's all made on the spot and it tastes so good. Trust me, I know my fried rice. It was still steaming and I got the tofu, and there was also kimchi in a little jar. It's so cute. We also had panna cotta, and low-key, it was kind of like jiggly ice cream. See? Next, I got a mini salad, and yeah, nothing too special.
Okay. Then you have some universities like Boston College who have their students pay for meal plans for this reaction.
Hi, hello there. Today is day 29 of 30 of my 30-day challenge of eating the worst foods that my dining hall possibly has. Today, I have Bobby ketchup, couscous with seitan, and the black bean burger. Looks good. Begin. Four. Zero. 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 One.
As an alternative to the poor dining food. Some of these alternatives include this bowl of cashews and milky water as a nutritious breakfast, or a nice nutritious bowl of top ramen, which by the way has 1,590 milligrams of sodium. That's already 1,590 milligrams of sodium higher than what humans should be taking. So now, when college students get high cholesterol and heart disease, they can add their hospital bills to their student loan debt.
Students attending college are hoping to earn a degree that will increase their income after graduation. However, for many students, most of their earnings will go towards paying back student loans. How are students getting into this position though? Main factors are soaring college costs and pressure to compete in the job marketplace. Colleges are failing in one of their most basic goals, giving students the tools they need for a career and a successful future. What's the point of college then? There should be ways to make paying for college easier. Today, there are some places to try and get money, like through FAFSA, but this system is yet another difficult and confusing process. A recent Hettinger Report News story ranked the FAFSA #1 among the most complex and convoluted higher education forms. Today, many middle-class students feel too poor for college and too rich for financial aid. According to Forbes, the problem is that this formula doesn't take into consideration your family expenses, your needs for savings for retirement, and possibly the cost of saving for your other kids' college education. The same students who think it's a huge burden to ask for $20 for dinner are nervous to ask for $30,000 a year from their parents. According to the FAFSA formula, parents can dish out tens of thousands of dollars per semester, so the financial aid given is minimal. But in reality, these middle-class families cannot spare this change, so attending and paying for college becomes exponentially more difficult for the rising college student.
Just take a look at the students who still live with their parents, still paying off their debt while they live with mom and dad as like he is literally cleaning his underwear. Like, come on now. This shouldn't be the case for some. And for some, it isn't actually. According to a local newspaper, the college loan debit hits parents hard. They state that from the latest release of the U.S. Education Department regarding its annual release of the college financial data, parents who took out a student loan plus typically took out loan or A loans worth of $50,000 or even more, just for their child to go and get the best education they can possibly have. With just $50,000 as a minimum, of course, families who have the money wouldn't worry about it. But there are families out there, and mainly those within the minority groups, that need that help with actually taking out a loan and knowing that they'll have to pay in the near future ahead. And this sucks, even more for the economy, of course, because colleges send students who barely know how to pay off their education into the real world, as if they threw those same students in the class that have no idea that they have a surprise quiz and no one studied for it. That's just not accurate. According to the Economic Effects on Students' Loans, a website, they say that from 2019 to 2020, the average student loan debt grew from 3.6%, while the national economy shrank 3.4%. So as the demand to pay extremely high prices for students to get a good education increased, the economy started to decrease. When you compare both topics separately, the information goes more in depth when it comes to showing students debt and the economic impact that they have and how it should reduce the spending on certain items as well. I mean, this should be a wake-up call. Colleges need to start a wake-up call that reflects these problems, because how is it possible that those who attend a community college come out, majority of them, debt-free, or even just a little bit that they need to pay for it, when there are universities out there within the world and outside of California that believe in the structure of having a better name and recognition of the school itself, no matter what the cost is at the end of the day. High. The cost is high. A community college average tuition of $3,000 in comparison to an average of $32,000 for out-of-state tuition per year is high. Colleges are so crazy about having good reputations, and on top of that crazy student debt, they don't even actually prepare the students for the real world itself. According to the Public School Review, only 23 U.S. states have career-ready standards. That's not even half of the country. If colleges really wanted to look good, they would prepare the students for their life after school and help them get rid of their student debt overall.
I think that just about wraps up the episode of the Procrastination Show. Tune in next week for the next one, if you remember.